wanna do is put on. Yeah. All I wanna do is put on, put on, put on. Yeah. All I wanna do is put on. Yeah.
Going on, my people. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Israelites, the chosen nation of God. We are out here for you. Whether you are here for fail, we are here for you. Give you the truth for the scriptures or the Bible. Even with all the commotions going on around here and in the world, we still out here rain, sleet, and snow for our people.
That's right.
For God's people.
Bring it out.
Regardless of what people say, we out here doing His will. That's what we're going to continue to do.
Right.
Day in and day out.
Yeah.
Because that is the whole duty of man. To keep the commandments and live.
Right.
Better yet, let me get that out the scripture. Let me get Proverbs 7 and 2. Proverbs 7 and 2. We out here for one reason, for our people, to wake them up. So we dumb down to the point we don't understand what the hell going on. We think everything is sweet in life. We don't think nothing is happening that's bad. We think everything is good. Truth of the matter is everything ain't good. Everything ain't sweet. So that's why we out here. Let me get that. Who got that? Yeah.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 7 and verse 2. Keep my commandments and live.
What the Lord say?
Keep my commandments and live.
Contrary to what you hear in your churches or what you see on TV, the Most High God requires His people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, to keep the commandments.
That's right.
The commandments are not done away with. Whether you want to believe it or not, they're not done away with. And because we don't keep them, that's why we're in captivity. That's why we get gunned down and shot down in the streets on a constant. Why? Because we don't keep the commandments. Read that again, what the Lord said.
Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thy eye.
The Lord don't change. He told us in the beginning to keep His commandments as the apple of thine eye. That's something beautiful, something special. Just like when you're looking at that woman, or that new car with the rim, or that shiny chain, that's something special. The Lord said, look at my law the same way. Keep my law and live. Because when you break His commandments, you die.
That's right.
When Adam came and he sinned, he broke God's commandments. What happened? Death came into the world. If he would have followed His commandments, he would still be alive to this day. Think about this. Man was created to be immortal. He wasn't caused to die. But it had to be a punishment. It had to be a consequence when you break God's commandments. What it look like you doing what you want to do and the Lord gonna reward you for that. Do you let your kids do what they want to do? No, you got rules in your house. We living in the Lord's house, His creation, so He got rules. And when we break His rules, it's consequences. And right now, He got that belt and He's spanking us. Constantly, day in and day out. His nation of people. Constantly. But you want to know, how is this going to benefit me? How is this going to help me? You need to be asking, how is this hurting me? Why am I not keeping the commandment? Why I don't know I'm supposed to keep the commandment? Bring that out. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 11. 2 and 10.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 10. And with all deceivableness.
Deceivableness. All these lies that's going on. Go ahead.
Of unrighteousness and guilt and perish. Because they have not the love of the truth.
All these lies are wrecking shop throughout the earth. Why? Because you reject the truth. All these things happen because you reject the truth. Keep reading on that.
That they might be saved.
The truth is going to save you. The Lord said the truth is His commandments. He said if you keep my commandments, you will live. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion.
Who?
God shall send them strong delusion.
What's a delusion? Something that you think is real, but it's not. It's a simple definition. He making you think that his laws are done away with because you didn't want to keep them in the first place. So you got other nations that are weaker, less superior, or inferior to you, ruling over you. And they putting their image of what God looks like in front of you and you believe in it. And thinking that that image or those people give a damn about you. Or that they're going to save you. Or that their teachings is the truth. That's a strong delusion, and God did that to his people for one reason, for being disobedient. Keep reading on that, bro.
And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie.
Believe a what?
Believe a lie.
Believe a lie. Let me get that Isaiah 59:1. Okay, bring it up.
The book of John, chapter 14 and verse 21. He that hath my commandment and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me. And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father. And I will love him and will manifest myself to him.
That's Christ speaking. You keep his commandment, he gonna love you. That's showing that you love him and you love the Most High. When you go against that, you showing nothing but hate. That's the same hate you show towards your brother and your sister in your own nation. You'll steal from them, you'll lie on them, you'll slander them, kill them, feed them the poison. Why? Because you want to believe in delusion, lies. And the Lord is doing this. You dipping and dabbling in all these different doctrines, thinking you're a Christian, a Methodist, a Presbyterian, you're Islamic, all these different things, Rastafari. Why? Because the Lord is doing these things. Strong delusion. We don't understand what's going on, neither do we care. Let me get that Isaiah 1:3. We don't care what's going on. Look at that Isaiah 59:1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox know his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel do not know, my people do not consider.
You got brothers standing on the corner out here for their people, and their own people don't even want to listen to nothing they got to say. They think it's a joke. They think it's some type of gimmick, that we out here for glory. We out here for the honor, glory, and praise of the Most High God, to restore you to royalty. We ain't out here for the other nation. And when is the last time you seen brothers doing so? But the Lord say an ox and an ass know who they belong to and where they come from. Our people don't consider. We don't know where we come from. We think we African Americans, Hispanics, Native Indians. That is not what the Most High God calls us. You know? We don't even consider what's going on though. The Lord is punishing his people for being disobedient. Day in and day out. When will we seek answers? The Lord said we don't even consider. Our people are dabbled in every religion on this planet, but won't open this book and read it. That's where the answer's at. Always been there, but we won't open and read it for nothing. Why is
The book of
that?
Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street.
How the gold become dim? How God's people, God's chosen people, got to the state of mind where they don't even know who they are. Everybody hollering about spiritual Israel. Well, what actually happened to the real people? Why don't they know who they are? Why don't the other nations know who they are? Why are we not being told these things?
Right.
It's a simple reason. The Lord that poured out his spirit to put strong delusion on it. Because we do not want to keep his commandments. It's that simple. And for those who want to know what's the benefit, what's the end game, it's for the kingdom. You come back, you get the commandments, you keep the commandments, that's what the Lord wants, and you'll see the change. Then you ultimately get rulership. The kingdom. That's the end game. To be in rulership. Because you used to have it. But now you're on the bottom and you happy and you trust in oppression. Simple as hell. Bring it out for me. Isaiah 59:1.
Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 1. Behold, the Lord's hand is not short, that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy, that it cannot hear.
The Lord arm ain't short. Your arms are short when you can't box with the Lord. You can't box with him. He created you. He can smash you and throw you out the way and start over. His ear is not too heavy to hear, but he ain't listening to you if you ain't keeping his commandments.
The book of Psalms, chapter 18 and verse 30, as for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to those that trust in him.
He a buckler. He going to war. He a shield. His word is perfect. You know, he going to war for you when you do what he tell you to do. What father wouldn't do that for his children? Especially when they doing what he tell them to do. You know, his word is perfect. His ways are perfect. We're trying to understand him and do what's required. Stop trying to lean on your own understanding. That's why we at the bottom of society now. Don't care, don't know what's going on. We just want to play on our phones all day. Ride around in circles. You know? Read that. Keep going on this.
Verse 2. But your iniquities have separated between you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear.
You see that? Your iniquities keep you separated from the Most High God. What's iniquity? Sin. Breaking God's law. Your sins. Breaking the Sabbath. Eating pork. Cutting your beards off, old men. That's iniquity. That's sin. And the Lord said that's why you're separated. That's why he ain't dealing with you. Because you're breaking his commandments day in and day out. That's why people constantly out of shape. That's why they on the bottom. That's why they got all these damn diseases. Gout, high blood pressure, diabetes, all these different diseases from eating the wrong food. You're breaking his commandments. You wonder why they look down on you because you shaving your beard off. He said put the beard on your face. That's a badge of manly dignity.
Bring it out.
He said women put on modest clothing. Then the brothers would respect you. It's that simple. Come out the pants and lose the potty mouth. These women run here cussing worse than sailors. You know, running up in a man's face, knowing that that man is the stronger vessel. He's bringing strong delusion upon our people. The woman say God is a woman. Come on now. Well, if that's the case, why would you make the man stronger than you? You figure you're getting your energy from the universe, from rocks, spiritual beings, all this foolishness, different doctrines. Keep reading on that, bro.
Verse 3. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity.
Your hands are defiled with blood. Our brothers and sisters run around killing each other day in and day out. It ain't just got to be with a knife or a gun either. You're killing each other with the tongue, with the mouth. You're busting and breaking down your own children by the way you speak to them. It's power of life and death in the tongue. You're killing your own community. You're killing your husband. You're killing your wife by the way you speak to them.
Bring it out.
You're killing your own folks. Your hands filled with blood. And neither do you care nor consider where you come from. Keep reading on that, brother.
Your lips have spoken lies.
Your lips did what?
Your lips have spoken lies.
America do what?
Have spoken lies. Your tongue have murdered perverseness. Verse 4. None calleth for justice, nor any pleadeth for truth. They trust in vanity.
Y'all ain't looking for real justice. You want somebody to be locked up, but they hanging and burning and kneeling on your folks' necks while they calling for mama. All you want them to do is get locked up. That ain't justice. The Lord is a just God.
That's right.
He said if his light is going to be dark, if his light is going to be death. So what is real justice? But our people don't consider that. We don't want real justice. We just want to be seen. We just want to be heard. Rather than do what's required of you, you want to just complain all the time. But we out here giving you warning. That's the job of a watchman. Give me Ezekiel 3:17 right quick. Hold on. Ezekiel 3:17. We out here as watchmen for our people. We ain't out here for nothing else but our people. Read that.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman.
Now what?
A watchman.
You know what a watchman does? I know y'all have seen these old medieval time movies where they got a castle. Inside that castle, they got the king where he sit on the throne. And around that castle, you got four different Inside of that castle, you got the king that sits there. On top of those pillars, you got watchmen. What do watchmen do? They watch for those things that are outside coming and those things going on inside. The Lord said, what?
Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die. And if thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at thy hand.
So, like I said, in that kingdom, you got them four pillars surrounding that kingdom, or that king, or that nation of people. You got watchmen that's looking out for what's going on the outside, which are the current events going on around the world. That's the outside of the nation of Israel. And you got those that are watching for what's going on within the nation of Israel. Watchmen, telling you, giving you warning, thus saith the Lord. This is what's going on due to the fact that you ain't keeping his commandment. This is what's going on when you hearken to the other nations, start following their ways. This is why you get beat down, shot down at the bottom of society. This is why the other nations look down on you. This is why they shake their head and hiss and clap their hands. This is why they strategize to keep you on the bottom. This is why they look at you as nothing. Because the watchmen are telling you, you're being disobedient. You're doing what the hell you want to do. That ain't what life about. That is not why he created the nation of Israel. We here for one reason. To serve the Most High God, not to do what we want to do. Because the same America, you're not going to hear the woman saying, I don't need a man. I don't want a man. Damn a man. You're not going to hear that in other nations. Only here in America, only here in Babylon the Great, the land of confusion, will a woman have a child just so she can get paid. Damn. Only here in America. Here in America where they question everything when it comes to what the Bible says, but trust in everything else. They trust what's in that math book at school that they've been learning all their life. They don't question it. Well, who said 1 + 1 is 2? Nobody questions that. Nobody questions the recipe card they want for that cake you want to bake. Nobody questions the instruction manual to that car. That car say, that book say, hey, you need to close the gas cap to turn the oil light off. You don't question it. You do it. Without question. But when the Lord say, woman, put on a dress. When the Lord say, put fringes on, you say, I don't know about that. When the Lord say, don't eat swine, you say, I got you. I've been eating it this long, ain't nothing happened. When the Lord say, be submissive to your husband, you say, I don't need a man. To the point where you done got in America where you say, I want to be the man. I don't need a man, but I want to be the man now. Where I'm going to dress like a man. I'm going to get tattooed like a man. I'm going to sag my pants and my clothes like a man. And then go get a woman and marry her and try to be the man in the relationship. That's how backwards America is. That's how far we done fallen as a people. With a man bowing down to the woman saying, happy wife, happy life, rather than vice versa. Instead of supporting the man bending over backwards trying to please the woman, when the woman was created to help the man. You can read that in Genesis. Matter of fact, what's the punishment behind that? Let's see what the Lord says. Genesis 3:17, 3 and 16. Babylon the Great or America has us confused. We foolish. We simple. We follow everything but what the Creator says to do. But if the creator of that VCR, that TV, or that iPhone say this is how you operate it, you'll follow that to the T. But when the Lord say keep the Sabbath day holy, we say, nah, that's done away with. You don't even know what the Sabbath day is. And that's one of the 10 commandments, even though it's more than 10. You got that?
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 15. Verse 16. Unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow.
For all you women that want to understand and know why you be stressed out all the time, why your thought process or your mindset be changing on a constant, day in and day out, why you having conversations in your head without talking to nobody, this is the reason why. Listen to what the Lord say.
Unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow.
Multiply thy sorrow. That's why you always worried, depressed. Your emotions are always changing. He's going to multiply your sorrows. Go ahead.
And thy conception and sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be toward thy husband.
The desire should be what?
Toward thy husband.
Your desire should be toward your husband. Your desire should be making your husband happy. That's what the Lord just said. But Americans say, happy wife, happy life. That's backwards. Think about that. When you don't know why you thinking this way and thinking that way, just remember that the Lord did that as a punishment. Keep reading on that. It's something on the men too.
Thy desire shall be toward thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
The man should what?
And he shall rule over thee.
The husband should do what?
And he shall rule over thee.
The Lord said the man is going to, or the husband is going to rule over his wife. Go ahead.
And unto Adam he said, because thou hearken unto the voice of thy wife.
Because you put your woman above me, you listen to your wife before me, what's going to happen?
And unto Adam he said, because thou hearken unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
So that's why you got to go to work, man. That's why you got to go to work day in and day out, 5 to 6 to 7 days a week. Because you put your wife's opinion, her thoughts above the Most High God who created you and her. But you put her opinion and her thoughts above you. And you made the wrong decision. So it's consequences for everything that we do. And because we did so, the Most High God is punishing us both. Regardless what we think or what we say or what we want. That is what it is. Read that last part again.
Cursed is the ground for thy sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
So we got to work until we return to the ground. We wasn't even supposed to die. But from him listening to the woman, putting her over the man, over the Most High God, we died. Death came into the world. So now we got to work until we return to the ground. How foolish is that? Think about that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 82 and verse 5, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
You can't sum it up no better than that. The Lord said, we don't even know what's going on, and we walking in darkness. Darkness is ignorance, not knowing what the hell going on. So by walking in darkness, what's happening? The whole world is out of order, out of course. That's what he said. Who am I to debate what the Lord said? He said, because we out of order, the world is out of order. So that's why you got women saying, I don't need a man. And the man saying, well, I ain't got to deal with the woman, and they turn it to each other. What's that in Romans with a natural affection? Romans 1:20. Yeah. Well, we don't even want to deal with the woman, and the woman don't want to deal with the man. That's where we done came in society here in America, Babylon the Great. You got that?
The book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 26, for this cause God gave them up unto vile affection.
Who gave them up?
God gave them up unto vile affection.
For those who think that they were born this way, for those who see what they see on TV, nah, that ain't how you became the way you are. That ain't where LGBTQ came from. Read that again.
For this cause God gave them up unto vile affection. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
Change the use of natural affection. The natural use of the woman to change. Same way with the man. Keep reading on that, bro.
And likewise also the man, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another. Men working men, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and is receiving themselves that recompense on their error, which was meant.
Everything keeps happening over and over and over again. Sodom and Gomorrah were doing the same thing. And what's going on here in America? What happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? Destruction, brimstone. So what you think gonna happen here in America? The same thing.
I got that. I want to put that in Jude. Let me get that in Jude.
Same thing gonna happen. Nothing but destruction.
I want to put that
Because they pushing this agenda hard. They pushing it every chance they get.
Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 2. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. Verse 3. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up.
A time to break down. We out here to break down these lies. These abominations, these atrocities going on here in America. Babylon the Great. But the Lord speaks against it. But this land that say, in God we trust, they go against everything that's in the scriptures. They say a man can marry a man, a woman can marry a woman. But the scriptures say otherwise.
Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 20.
Let's see what the Lord say about this LGBTQ.
Thou shalt not lie with womankind as thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination.
It is a what?
It is abomination.
The Lord said that's an abomination. A man ain't supposed to be laying with another man. What is the point? What is the purpose? How can you reproduce if that's going on? Maybe that's the agenda behind it. They don't want you to reproduce. Okay. But that's going, you say on the back of the money, in God we trust. In the courtrooms, you're putting your hand over the Bible and say, I swear on the Lord. But in actuality, in reality, in society, we going against everything that the scriptures speak on. And we call ourselves Christians. You know? Think about this. Makes no sense. Go ahead.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7 and verse 24. But his law have they despised.
His what?
But his law have they despised, and denied his covenant, and his statutes have they not, and his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works.
They don't want to perform his work. That's why they come up with lies and strategies saying, hey, the law's done away with. Christ did away with that. It's only 10 laws. But if he said you can't lay with another man, that ain't in the Big Ten. So the law done away with, that don't make sense. You say the law of God is done away with, but the laws of America stand. Come on, man. So we supposed to follow the speed limit, but we ain't gonna listen to nothing the Creator says. Wow. Think of that, the hypocrisy, the foolishness of this land. And we supposed to take it with a smile or with a Coke and smile. Think about what's going on. Let me get Isaiah 66 and 5. Strong delusion. Strong delusion. Yes, sir.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 66 And verse 5, hear the word of the Lord, ye that tremble at his word. Ye brethren that hate.
Go to 4. Start with 4.
The book of Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 4, I will also choose their delusion.
You gonna choose, who's gonna do that? Read that again.
I also will choose their delusion.
This is the Lord speaking against his people.
I will also choose their delusion.
The law is done away with.
I will also choose their delusion.
I can lay with who I want to.
I will also choose their delusion.
I don't need a man.
I will also choose their delusion.
I don't need to be married.
I will also choose their delusion.
I can eat what I want to eat.
I will also choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer.
Why the Lord said it?
Because when I called, none did answer.
When he came, his watchmen out on the corners of the street to lift up their voice, loud like a trumpet, crying aloud, sparing not. When he called, you did not come. So he gonna hit you with a strong delusion. And he gonna choose the delusion. Keep going.
When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before my eyes.
They did what?
They did evil before my eyes.
I'm doing good. I'm living sweet here in America.
But they did evil before my eyes.
Chose to do what you wanted to do versus what the Lord say. But we all saying, I got a relationship with God. God knows my heart. But you know nothing about him. So how can you have a relationship with someone you know nothing about? God knows my heart. You beating on your chest. The Bible says your heart is your mind. Out of the heart flows evil thoughts. You cannot think through the heart that pumps blood. So you don't have an understanding of the scriptures, and you're going by word of mouth. The Lord said you chose to do what you feel is pleasurable. You going against what I say. You got another precept?
The book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 36. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all the things that shall come to pass.
Read that top part again.
The book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 36.
Who's speaking?
Christ. Watch ye therefore, and pray always.
This is Christ speaking. Christ. See, we all say we Christians. We want to be Christ-like. Let's see what Christ is saying.
Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be counted worthy to escape all the things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.
You gotta get yourself right, basically. Check yourself, self-examination. They're trying to build you up to do it by yourself. I can do it. This is the world of the generation of I. It ain't Generation Z. This is the generation of I. I want to do this. I can do that. iTunes, iPhone, everything is about I. I can do this on my own. But I am a Christian. You know? You got that from me? That's their warning.
Hey, for real.
We doing it with words, they doing it with sound.
The fire is on the way.
Micah chapter 6 and verse 3. Oh, my people, what have I done unto thee?
What did the Lord say?
Oh, my people, what have I done unto thee? And wherein have I wearied thee? Testify against me. For I brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And
The Lord is asking. Testify against me. Tell me something. Don't just look at me with the tell me something. What have I done to worry you, to stress you out? That's what the Lord want to know. What's going on? Why do you not trust in him? Why are you trusting the enemy? Why are you trusting oppression? Why do you not know who I am? After all I done for you. He just said I brought you up out of Egypt with a strong hand. Keep reading on that.
For I brought thee up out of the land of Egypt and redeemed thee out of the house of the servant. And I sinned before thee Moses, Aaron, and Miriam.
Once again, he sent watchmen, leaders, those who going to stand up and speak boldly to lead you in the right way. Thus saith the Lord. You got this. Once again, the Lord asking, what did I do? To make you want to turn from me. I gave you everything. I gave you fame. I gave you a land.
Bring it out.
I gave you riches beyond measure.
Bring it out.
I gave you a style. I gave you a heritage. I am your father. What have I done to you? Right. What can the Lord do to turn his people away? And we want to be out here standing in the Sabbath on the hot sun, working for the enemy, right? Trying to make a buck. Out here exercising to do what? Who are you trying to impress? You know, today is the Sabbath day, a day of rest. It don't matter how many hours you get, how many you clock in, you still ain't gonna have what you want and what you need in life. So what we should be doing is doing what the Most High God created us to do, which is to serve him, not to serve America or Babylon the Great. But all they're gonna teach you is to stay on the bottom. All they're gonna do is teach you how to stay in iniquity, in sin, shaving your beards off, working and breaking the Sabbath, eating defiled foods, dressing all out of order, violating your heritage. All we want to do is have a good time and make money, though. That's the problem with Israel, Jacob. We don't want to do what's right. We want to do what we feel is right. We went wrong. Trying to do what's best and end up doing what's wrong.
Good to do evil.
Exactly. We wise to do evil.
Wise to do evil.
That's right.
Proverbs 1 and 22. Let me get there. Proverbs 1 and 22. We bring it out all the time. But every time it go out or come out, teach, we see nothing but foolishness. And we want to know what the Lord got to say about this. 1 and 22. Proverbs 1.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge?
As long as we've been out here, ain't nobody came over to ask no question. That's a fool. How you gonna learn anything in life? You ask questions, you research, but everybody's standing around looking. Nobody got no question. And you wonder why you got problems in your life, why you don't have the answer. The answer always been right in front of you, but you trust in oppression. You trust in everything but the Creator. Who did you trust this morning to wake you up? Who put that roof over your head, them clothes on your back, that food on your table? I guess you did. Who give you the health and the strength to walk up and down the street day in and day out? I guess you did that too.
Bring it out.
Who making these trees grow, that sun come out, the wind to blow? I guess you did that too. But everything's sweet here in America, that we can walk around freely. We ain't getting our backs beat in. So the hell with keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. We're gonna do what we want to do. Then when your brother or your son or your daughter gets shot down the street, now you want justice. Now you want somebody to help you. Now you on your knees praying to them. They will seek me early in their affliction. But we all got a relationship with the Most High God. And the funny thing about it, he said if it was the other nations, they would hearken. They would listen. Think about this. The other nations that he did not choose, they would hearken to him. But those who he chose, hard-headed, stiff-necked, rebellious. You see this? He make it manifest right before your eyes. The nation of Israel walked straight by, smiling and laughing, staring and looking. But the other nations stopped and want to know what the hell going on. That shows you that the book is true. Think about this, people.
I ran out of breath.
Shout out to Soul Dad, brother. It's good music, good loud.